Hey there and welcome. What we're doing here is a completely transparent, step-by-step walkthrough of EventFlow Pro's integration with Google Calendar and Gmail. We put this together to show you exactly how our application uses the permissions it requests, making sure we're in full compliance with Google's user data policies. So, let's just dive right in. We've broken this down into 5 simple sections. We'll start with how you kick off the connection, then we'll look at the secure authorization flow. After that, we're going to spend some really important time on the specific permissions we ask for. Then you'll see it all in action. And finally, we'll show you how you, the user, always have the final say and stay in complete control. All right, so let's start the journey right where our users do, from inside the EventFlow Pro app. This is the home base for any event organizer using our platform. First things first, the user logs into their account over at eventflowpro.xyz/login. This is their command center for creating and managing all their events. So once they're logged in, they land on their event dashboard. Now, to manage the guest list and see who's coming, the organizer will click on response data for their event. This click is actually what gets the ball rolling on connecting their Google account. Clicking that button kicks off the whole secure connection process with Google. So let's take a look at exactly how that works. And here we are. The user lands on this authorization gate. It's a really clear, dedicated step that explains, hey, to send invitations, you'll need to connect your Google account. This is what officially starts the standard, super secure Google OAuth 2.0 flow. And this right here is absolutely crucial. We use the industry standard OAuth 2.0 protocol. What does that mean? It means EventFlow Pro will never see, handle, or store a user's Google password, ever. The entire sign-in process is handled directly and securely by Google. So after the user clicks connect, this pop-up window appears. Now, it's really important to know that this window is being served directly from Google servers, not from ours. This makes sure the user gets a secure, familiar experience when they choose which Google account they want to link up. Okay, this brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this entire demonstration. We're going to pause here and carefully walk through the Google consent screen and the exact permissions EventFlow Pro is asking for. This screen right here is the one that matters most. This is the Google OAuth consent screen. It's where Google makes sure that the user's in the driver's seat, showing them exactly what our app wants to do before any connection is made. As you can see, we're asking for 2 specific permissions, or scopes. So for the next couple of minutes, we're going to break each one down, Google Calendar and Gmail, so it's perfectly clear not just what we're asking for, but more importantly, how we use these permissions in a very limited and purposeful way that actually helps the user. Let's kick things off with the first scope, Google Calendar. The official text from Google says we can see, edit, share, and permanently delete all the calendars you can access using Google Calendar. Now, I know what you're thinking. That language sounds incredibly broad, right? It sounds like we want the keys to everything. And that's exactly why it's so vital for us to be specific about how we actually use this. Our goal isn't to take over your calendar. It's simply to integrate the events you create in our app right into your normal workflow. Let's look at the precise actions we take. So let's get really specific about this limited use. On the left, you see what we do. We use this permission for 4 things and 4 things only. First, we create brand new calendar events, but only for the events you made inside EventFlow Pro. Second, we add the attendees that you've listed in our app to that specific Google Calendar event. Third, to help make sure people show up, we automatically set handy 24-hour and 1-hour reminders for your guests. And fourth, we read the RSVP status, when a guest clicks yes or no in that calendar invite, so we can update your dashboard inside EventFlow. Now, just as important as what's on the right, what we don't do. We never read your existing personal or work calendars. We can't see your private schedule. We never access or change any event that wasn't created by our app. Your personal calendar stays totally private and is completely untouched by us. This permission is only used to manage the events you create with our tool. That's it. Okay. On to the second scope, and this one is for Gmail. The permission here is simple. Send email on your behalf. In technical terms, this is the gmail.send scope. And again, let's be crystal clear about what this means in practice. So we use this gmail.send permission for one main reason, to send the event invitations that you, the user, create and approve. And why is that so great? Because it lets the invitations come directly from your email address, which builds trust and just makes it way more likely to land in the inbox. What we do is send the personalized HTML invitation you've designed in our app. Now, this is a big one. We only track if the send was successful by listening for the immediate success or fail response from Google's API right when you hit send. It just tells us if the email left the station. Now let's talk about what we don't do, because this is fundamental to our privacy promise. We never read your inbox. We never read any of your emails, period. We do not access your sent folder or your drafts folder. Our app is basically blind to the contents of your mailbox. And finally, we never send emails automatically. Every single email is sent only when the user physically clicks a button. You are always in control of what goes out and when it goes out. I'm going to say that again because it is the cornerstone of this whole integration and our commitment to your privacy. The gmail.send scope is send only. We are functionally blind to the contents of your Gmail account. We confirm delivery only by the success or failure code the API gives us at the very moment of sending, not by going back and reading your sent folder. This very specific, limited, and purposeful use of data ensures that EventFlow Pro is fully compliant with the Google API Services user data policy, and that includes all of the limited use requirements. We only access data to provide the core features you see here, and we never, ever use it for advertising or anything else. Okay, so the user has reviewed those scopes, they understand what's happening, and they've clicked Continue. Now that permissions are granted, let's see exactly how this integration actually helps an event organizer get their work done. Once they've authorized, the user gets sent right back into the app. And from this screen, they can paste in their guest list, they can see all their attendees, and when they're all set, they can send out those invitations with just a single click. And here's the payoff, the direct result of those permissions. On the left, you can see the invitation email sitting in a guest's inbox. That was sent using the gmail.send permission. And on the right, you can see the event was automatically created in the organizer's Google Calendar. That's the calendar permission doing its job. And if we look a little closer at that calendar event, you can see it's all filled out with the necessary details. It's got the guest list right there, and you can see those 1 hour and 1 day reminders have been set up by our app automatically, just to make sure nobody misses the event. And finally, just as important as giving access is being able to take it away. Let's show you how the user always maintains complete and total control. The process couldn't be simpler, and it's all managed right inside the user's own Google account. You just go to your security settings, find the section for third-party apps, find EventFlow Pro in the list, and click Remove Access. It's a standard, totally transparent process. Access can be revoked instantly at any time just by visiting myaccount.google.com/permissions. The user is always in the driver's seat. Control is never given away. It's just delegated, and that delegation can be taken back in a heartbeat. So let's wrap it up. EventFlow Pro uses a secure OAuth 2.0 flow, so your password is always private. It uses permissions in a very strict and limited way. It's fully compliant with Google's limited use policy, and it gives you, the user, complete control to revoke access anytime you want. This whole process is designed to be powerful for you while being completely respectful of your data and your privacy. Thank you so much for your time.